Even though his name is almost always spoken in the same breath as chess greatness, Bobby Fischer remains one of the most mysterious personalities in the game's history. Fischer was born on March 9, 1943, and went on to become the youngest grandmaster of his time at the age of 29. He rose to the top of the chess world as a consequence of his incredible skill and drive to win at any cost, and becoming the chess world champion. Fischer was a man who, despite his many accomplishments, was not well admired by his contemporaries. This study aims to delve further into the complex facets of Bobby Fischer's personality in order to better understand why he has been and will continue to be such a diverse figure in the chess world. Number 1. Act of the Prodigy. Bobby Fischer showed a tremendous talent for chess at an early age. He became the youngest chess grandmaster ever at the age of 15, shattering the previous record by 2 years. This was made possible by his extraordinary skill. Fischer's meteoric ascent propelled him into the limelight and captured the interest of chess aficionados all around the globe. On the other hand, Fischer's complex character may be traced back to his early success. According to Fischer, chess is a combat that takes place on the board. The goal of the game is to completely defeat your opponent's thoughts and win the match. Number 2. The Eccentric Genius. As Fischer's bad reputation grew, so did these eccentricities that would come to characterize him. Because of his unrepentant and combative nature, he often got into fights with tournament organizers, other players, and the media. His actions caused him to get a negative reputation. Fischer's aggressive manner in relationships was in sharp contrast to the stereotypical lone chess prodigy portrayed in popular culture. Fischer was the world champion chess player, and his aggressive personality carried over into his personal relationships. I don't place much faith in the field of psychology. I believe in the efficacy of the devious strategies. Number 3. The Cold War Icon. Bobby Fischer, the mysterious chess genius, became a surprising symbol of the tensions caused by the Cold War in the 20th century. Fischer played Boris Spassky, the current world chess champion from the Soviet Union, in a match in Reykjavik, Iceland in 1972. A lot of people were looking forward to it. This event, which was called the Match of the Century, was more than just a chess game. The ideological fight between the United States and the Soviet Union during the Cold War turned the match into a geopolitical battle. Fischer, who was American, had to stand up for his country against the powerful Soviet chess machine. People on both sides of the Iron Curtain were amazed by how hard he worked to win and how focused he was. Fischer's erratic behavior during the match, which included making controversial requests and leaving the game at the last minute, kept everyone on edge. His victory in this historic fight was a sign that the United States was strong in an area that the Soviet Union had been in charge of before. Bobby Fischer was more than just a famous chess player during the Cold War. He was a symbol of the spirit of competition and ideological battle that shaped that time. His win in Reykjavik is still an important part of both the history of chess and of the Cold War as a whole. Many people questioned if the outcomes deserved the procedures, so even though Fischer won, his name was tainted by controversy. Fischer's reputation took a hit as a consequence of the backlash. Many questioned if the end result was worth the dirty tricks. Number 4. A life spent in exile. Our story continues up after Bobby Fischer has had a tremendous change in his life as a result of his monumental triumph. He adopted a secluded way of living in order to avoid the scrutiny of the press and the high expectations of the chess world. Because of this, he was able to avoid the stress. His public pronouncements became more and more incoherent and unsettling as time went on. Fischer's anti-Semitic comments, conspiracy theories, and anti-American sentiments marked his latter years and drove a wedge between him and many of his former admirers. None of them are valuable in the slightest. All of them belong in the garbage. Number 5. Legacy and Legend. Bobby Fischer's legacy is a complicated web with numerous threads pulling in different ways. On the one hand, players of all ages and skill levels continue to be influenced by his innovations in chess theory and his extraordinary grasp of the game. He was a grandmaster who was known all over the globe. His inventiveness is what made him famous, and his games continue to be studied and admired decades after their initial release. Fischer, on the other hand, has had his reputation damaged for a long time because of the controversial views he has in his personal life. Concerning the mystery of why some people don't like Bobby Fischer himself, The answer he has found is ultimately complex and multifaceted. His amazing skill at the chessboard will be remembered as a monument to the game's top players for all time. His troubled past, abrasive personality, and contentious viewpoints continue to cause division in the neighborhood. Bobby Fischer's life is instructive because it shows that even the most gifted people have their flaws, and many leave a trail of mystery in their wake. This is shown by the fact that even very talented people may have flaws and complexities of their own.